and welcome to today's video where we're going to try and breathe new life into this old laptop. Today we have the mid-2012 MacBook Air 13-inch. I recently seen a video from someone who subscribed to What's on Your Screen. We did a video on one of these, said it was very easy to find one on eBay for under £50. After a quick search on eBay, I discovered that was true and picked one up for myself. So it's got an Intel 3rd Gen Core i5-3427U with a 1.8 GHz base speed, 2.8 GHz boost. It's got 2 cores, 4 threads and integrated Intel HD 4000 graphics. It has 4 GB of DDR3 1600 MHz RAM, which is soldered, so not upgradable. It has in it a 256 GB SSD, which is like PCIe like proprietary Apple SSD. It could be upgraded to 512 GB, but that would not be cost effective for this model because those were about the same price as I got this for. The display is a 13.3 inch 1440 by 900 TN panel, so not the best, but it'll be absolutely fine for what we're doing with this machine. So there's not a lot we can actually do in terms of upgrading the hardware. We could use OpenCore Legacy Patcher. It's currently running on macOS Catalina. It could go all the way up to Sequoia if I wanted, but with the 4 GB of RAM that are in there, I don't think that is going to be very suitable or run that well. I think it'll fare much better with a modern distro of Linux. So that is what we're going to do. The distro of choice today is Ubuntu Budgie 24.04 because it has a quite macOS-like look to it. So since there's no hardware upgrades to do on this machine, let's install Ubuntu Budgie. So we're booted into macOS Catalina right now. There's the info about the Mac. So we'll look at the system activity when it's just idling from a fresh boot. So we're looking at about 2 GB of RAM used, and the CPU is idling at like under 20% CPU usage. See that 2 GB being used already on a macOS that got released in 2019. So that's not very promising for how well it would have run with Sequoia. Right, so what we need to do to prep this for the Ubuntu Budgie install is go to the disk utility. We'll click on the Macintosh HD. We'll click on the Apple SSD, show all devices, partition, and we'll create a new partition. So I am going to leave macOS on here just on a really small partition, just in case. And put that at 64 GB. And we'll leave the rest for the Ubuntu install, and we're going to create that as exFAT and apply. We're going to rename that, we'll call it Linux. Partition. And now this might take a little bit of time. And that's that done now. So now we've created the partition for Linux. We can close this down. I've got the USB stick with Ventoy on here, which lets you put lots of different ISOs on the same USB drive, and it has the Ubuntu Budgie on there. So we'll restart and hold the Alt/Option key. And that will bring us into the boot menu. select AFI boot. And then I have all the various ISOs of Linux distros on there, and we'll find Ubuntu Budgie and enter and boot that in Grub 2 mode. Try or install Ubuntu Budgie. And there we are booting into the Ubuntu Budgie live desktop environment. And next we'll just go through the standard process. English UK. We'll connect to a Wi-Fi network. There's an update available for the installer, but we will skip that for now. Install Ubuntu Budgie. We'll go for the full featured. We'll install third-party hardware, drivers, and support for additional media. We'll go for manual installation. So now we'll select the partition that we created in macOS, delete that, select the free space, add new partition, set the mount point as /, OK, and next. So just put the details in for the account and next. Set the time zone to London, that's fine. And install. Right, so the system is now installed and ready. So we'll click Restart now. Remove the installation medium and press Enter. Now enter a password. And we are in. That is Ubuntu Budgie installed on this MacBook Air 2012. And there's a nice little Budgie welcome thing for getting started. And all the system specifications. So now I'm going to get some things installed in here for testing out, and we'll have a look and see how it performs. Right, so we'll install a few things on here to test out, so we'll just do a cold boot and see how quickly that loads up. Which is pretty fast. Considering the age of the laptop anyway. And password. And just like that, we're in. Now I have to say, this background, I love this background. It's kind of like a mix of the default Noble New Mat from Ubuntu and the default macOS Snow Leopard wallpaper. It's just lush. But yes, so we'll have a look at how the system's resources are. And we're just starting up. So we're looking at like less than 900 megabytes of RAM, which is less than half the RAM we were looking at on Catalina. And I mean, it's still loading up a few things in the background, but we're looking at like less than 10% CPU usage when idling. So yeah, that's awesome. It's dropping even lower now. Right, so we'll have a look at what we can do with this machine. So might as well start with web browsing, and we'll go to YouTube. And we'll do a standard test video and see what the performance is like. So that's a 1080p 60 at the moment. I mean, it's a 900p screen, so 1080p 60 will be fine if it runs that. Yeah, we're not dropping any frames at all at 1080p 60. Yeah, I reckon you could probably go higher. I mean, not that it's going to make much of a difference, but yeah, so it's just about, not quite, but nearly handles 1440p at 60 frames. So yeah, this is more than capable of standard 1080p. Even at 60 frames. We'll have a look at the speakers. We'll jump to the drop. Yeah, these are great speakers. Great high quality speakers, for the price especially. I mean, it's still Apple hardware, which is usually always of high quality, so yeah, very pleased with that. We'll have a look at the normal video. We'll get this turned off. We'll have a look at the normal video. My history, so there it is, it's that one.
This is a 2012 MacBook Air, and if you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars, it's probably the best productivity computer money can buy right now. There are a few very specific reasons for this. Firstly, I'm running macOS Ventura through distraction from getting important work done. As is often the case with Intel processors from the and there aren't any real slowdowns caused by a lack of memory. It's low-power DDR3 RAM running at 1600.
Yeah, so it looks like it's starting to
special for 2012.
skip a bit. Perhaps it's thermal throttling.
So unfortunately, if you have
Needs
a 4
that fan to
GB
kick
model,
in.
that's all you're getting. I already mentioned one of the reasons the OS runs so smoothly is the flash-based SSD.
Yes, we'll have a look at normal websites. We'll have a look at, let's have a look at IGN. Yeah, like it's running this smoothly. So what I'm saying is, for general web browsing, this is going to be absolutely fine. To be honest, it probably would have been fine on Catalina, but you've got outdated software on there, and it hasn't received any security updates since 2021, I believe. Yeah, that's the proper one, is it? Yeah, so there's that. We'll have a look at it running Netflix, because it does run Netflix. It's only 720p because of DRM issues in browsers on Linux or something, but it works.
He says bushiest beaver.
I told them busiest idiots.
It's fine.
Yeah,
But we
that's
fix it. We'll fix it up.
720p.
You don't have to display that.
Because that's what happens every time.
Every year. Come on, let's go in the car.
But yeah, that's running absolutely fine without issues.
If you would have
But we don't want to show too much Netflix because of copyright. But yeah, so browsing absolutely fine, really. Did seem to thermal throttle a little bit on the higher quality videos earlier, but that'll be sorted out with the fans. I'm gonna have a look at word processing, which will be absolutely fine. Yeah, that's all good. Yeah, that works all right. But we're not going to save that, of course. It does have a webcam built in, so, and like all the drivers and things are working fine for this out the box. It recognizes everything. We'll have a little look at the webcam. It's actually not bad quality, that. If you had more light in the room, it would definitely be fine for some Zoom calls or something like that. Hello. So yeah, and of course we'd like to check out a bit of gaming and see what I can do. And of course we're going to try out Super Tux Kart because we always do. So let's check that out. Get that full screen. Oh, so yeah, that's running absolutely fine. It looks like it's defaulted at the higher graphics settings. Yeah, so that's that. Running absolutely fine. It's a really fun game actually, especially for free off the App Center. So yes, let's set that Super Tux Kart, and we'll open up Steam, and of course we're going to try out Tomb Raider 2013 because it is my benchmarking game of choice. So that takes a little bit of load up there. So let's have a go with this. Yeah, now I can hear the fans starting to kick in a bit. So what we're running this at is 600p and pretty much low settings for everything. And we'll have a look at how this runs. Right, so here we are at Mountain Temple, I believe. And we're getting about a consistent almost 30 frames a second.
Looks like a smaller group escaped into the local forest.
Oh, missed. That's done. Oh. I am not good with PC controls. But yeah, so this I would say is absolutely playable. And I know it's on low settings and 600p, but it doesn't look too bad on this small screen, considering it's a laptop not designed for gaming from 2012. And it's playing a game that came out after its release, so what are you gonna do here? Ah, there we go. But yeah, Tomb Raider 2013, my benchmarking game, totally playable. Yeah, boy. Yes, so we'll have a look at something else. I did install Portal on here, so I'm gonna have a look to see how that runs. So that looks pretty fast. Yeah, and I think I've got this running at 800p with like medium to low settings. And that is running pretty smoothly. Pretty smoothly indeed. Right, so we need that. Oh. Give me that. Aha. Sensitivity's a bit high on this one. I do enjoy this game, but I'm not very good at it. Yeah. No. Aha. There we go.
As part of a required test protocol, our previous statement suggesting that we would not monitor this chamber was an outright fabrication.
This
Good
is almost
job.
like 60
As
frames
part of a
locked.
required test protocol, we will stop enhancing the truth in 3, 2.
It is such a eerie game, this. Fun though. But yes, that is Portal. Did I install anything else? I couldn't get Assassin's Creed working, although I really wanted to, but it's them Ubisoft launchers, man. So yeah, we'll have a little look at Minecraft. It's not running great by the seams of it. But I would say that it is a playable experience. We'll have a look and looking at the mid-20s frame rate wise. I could get away with that for a game like this. Probably get a bit more performance out of it if you lowered the chunk size or the render size or whatever it is. The render distance, that's it. Yeah, that's made quite an improvement, hasn't it? Just dropping that a few chunks. Yeah, I'm gonna call this playable. So yes, that is the MacBook Air 2012 with 4 GB of RAM and a dual-core i5. Running Ubuntu Budgie in 2025. Very usable. You would, like, when you're using it, you would not think that this laptop was under £50 for the performance you're getting out of it. You just would not. It's time for some benchmarks. Yeah, so in Geekbench 5 you can see that there has been a slight improvement switching over to Linux. In Geekbench 6, that's the scores here. We couldn't run that in Catalina. Speedometer I got a 6.76, which is on the low end, but it seems to perform well enough. Disk speed's a little bit low on the writes there, but it's alright enough. And that about does it for this video. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike, or do absolutely nothing at all. The choice is yours. If you do want to see more videos like this coming up in the future, consider subscribing. And for now, that is me signing off. Goodbye.